TV8 in Des Moines.
CBS presents For Our Times. Today, Music of Glorious Order, Heritage in Burgenland, Austria. The narrator is Theodore Gill.
Burgenland in Austria is a kind of borderland lying where Austria and Hungary meet, where East and West confront each other, where a long history and modernity mingle, and where fantasy and reality shade into each other. The local church is beautiful, but typical, though there cannot be many that can claim that since 1226 a Christian congregation has worshipped and wept and rejoiced and believed on this spot. None of that was ever easy. Hungarian patriots fought Austrian Habsburgs here. Wars with the Turks threatened the countryside. Twice in the 20th century, international armies stormed through these quiet villages. But stubborn Christian conviction is on the plain, faithful faces. Television cameras and all that they stand for are of fleeting interest. But the ancient faith, the timeless ritual, remains basic.
Des neuen und ewigen Bundes, mein Blut, das für euch und für alle vergossen wird, zur Vergebung der Sünden. Tu dies zu meinem Gedächtnis.
Geheimnis des Glaubens.
In this church, where Franz Liszt was baptized, the choir ends this Sunday's Mass with the Benedictus from the Master's Missa Choralis. That massive music was composed to be sung in the Sistine Chapel, and it has since been thrillingly presented in the great concert halls of the world. Trained voices may make a firmer sound, and intonation may elsewhere have been more solid. But has any choir anywhere sung with more conviction than these local choristers at home, where this music is at home? The local priest's house is typical of the Burgenland dwellings, and therefore not quite like the houses anywhere else. The Esterhazy family has had a great house here for at least 400 years, but the basic style of that mansion is the same as that of the ordinary homes. Expanded, refined maybe, but spare, clean-lined, country elegant. In the midst of storybook quaintness, a jolt. Amerikanagasa? Is it recognition of a foreign army's help? Or a bow to family and friends across a distant ocean? The Habsburg eagle remains in the village of Rust, reminder of a troubled history and of an earlier dominance, although as Freistadt Rust, the town had special privileges from the crown, which helped keep it intact till today. The storks arrived from southern Africa in the 16th century. They nest with confidence on rooftops which change avoids. Mysteriously, musicians have always gravitated to Rust. Haydn, Goldmark, Joachim, Liszt, all lived, visited, wrote, performed in this remote little town. And the music has never stopped. Young players practice, famous artists visit. From the street, the village sounds like a conservatory. In the 13th century Fisher Chapel, the name is legendary, the organ is from 1705. So, in an early Gothic church, a high Baroque organ is still pumped by hand for a 20th century musician. And speaking of high Baroque, what of the thrusting convolutions of that picture frame? And then there are the Byzantine windows. In a church of suitable age, time and space go accordion pleated, and Christian community occurs across all generations and all boundaries. The organist in the Protestant Church of Rust is typical of other musicians in the little town. His playing is of professional caliber. He performed in New York's Carnegie Hall a few years ago, but he makes his living in a restaurant he owns near the church. On Sundays, though, he draws music from the clacking wooden keys of his venerable instrument.
When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go.
This day, there is a visitor from Vienna, Alphot Edward. Mr. Edward was a visitor to Vienna 40 years ago when the American Army took him there. By now, he's completely at home in Austria, as the congregation here is at home with him, listening to music that speaks of a long ago Moses and of all current liberations, in a language foreign to their ears, but native to their hearts.
To let my people go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, till old Pharaoh, to let my people go. Thus saith the Lord, old Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, till old Pharaoh, to let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, till old Pharaoh, to let
few miles from Rust is Eisenstadt. And in that perhaps more famous town is a Jewish museum located in what was once a synagogue. As in all this region, music has its large place. So one night, two Gentile singers acquaint an audience with Jewish music new to the Christian listeners, and some of it new even to the Jewish listeners. The language is Yiddish, the music is ethnic, but the art involved unites, delights, and one hopes, heals.
Lass mir sich lieber bitten, komm rein zu mir. Lass mir sich lieber bitten, komm rein zu mir. Beten, wo stehst du bei meinem Fenster? Wo stehst du bei meinem Fenster? Lass mir sich lieber beten, bist bei mir der Schönste. Lass mir sich lieber beten, bist bei mir der Schönste. Lass mir sich lieber beten, Käufer Pomeranzen, Käufer Pomeranzen. Lass mir sich lieber beten, lass mir gehen tanzen. Lass mir sich lieber beten. Beten, stell dem Samovar, lass mir sich lieber beten, sei schon nicht kein Narr. Lass mir sich lieber beten, sei schon nicht kein Narr. Lass mir sich lieber beten, genug schon sein wie Goyim, genug schon sein wie Goyim. Lass mir sich lieber beten, lass mir sein Chaverim, lass mir sich lieber beten, lass mir sein Chaverim. Lass mir sich lieber beten, wo stehst du bei der Tür, wo stehst du bei der Tür? Lass mir sich lieber beten, komm rein zu mir, lass mir sich lieber beten, komm rein zu mir.
In a 700-year-old church, the harpsichord's pure sounds fall where they often have before, and an artist prepares for an audience. Elsewhere in the Burgenland, in the town of Lockenhaus, the local priest from time to time assembles young artists from elsewhere in Europe to play and sing in his parish. Thus, these youthful musicians from Germany, all on their way to professional careers, play the Adagio and Fugue for two flutes and string orchestra by Wilhelm Friedrich Bach. Any music by any Bach has stretches which sing of serenity, and other grand bars where conviction is sturdy and inarguable, and then the long lines of unbelievable ingenuity that somehow wind up as inevitable. It is music of glorious order. There is passion and there is peace in this great music, and in the church, as in the faith that gives it all place.
believe in honesty. Too many relationships fall apart because people are afraid to express their intimate needs and desires. Enjoying a good love life is just part of enjoying a good life. Some people giggle when I speak so frankly, but I know they are listening very carefully.
For the truth, ask Dr. Ruth.
Watch for it weeknights at 11, beginning Monday on TV8.
Get it together for that golden opportunity. You never know. It might be today.
In Ottumwa, tune to Translator Channel 74 for better reception of TV8.